Yeah.
What is going on, people? What is going on? This is Brian Hanley, Big B, again with my man CC, Chris Claybon, and this, people, is Instant Replay.
What's going on, man?
Not much. Just so you're feeling under the weather today. Feeling
I'm
a little
not
bit under
feeling
the weather.
not feeling good, but you know what? The last little cast had a couple viewers, so I went out and bought a chain. It's from Amazon, but we get a couple 100,000 more, and it might be real.
I got
You
it.
know,
I
so
got it. We appreciate everybody's support, man. Thank you. Remember to like, subscribe, share. More importantly, tell a friend. Tell them to come in next time. Tell them to join the show. We got a lot to unpack today, Chris. We got a lot to unpack today, my man. So let's get to it.
absolutely.
Let's get to it. So first off, these Grammys. Gee, many Christmas. What's going on with these Grammys? First thing, we got Killer Mike getting arrested, beating up security guards before the show, before the live show,
Hey,
you know,
hey,
and then we got Jay-Z just basically calling out the Grammys saying, "Why haven't you given my wife an award?" Let's start with Killer Mike. Break
okay.
it
I
down
mean,
for us.
some people think the biggest crime he committed was winning all three rap Grammys before the broadcast went live. But I tell you what, I went back and listened to the album. I had listened to it when it come out, and something else had got me distracted. Amazing album. It is
Yeah,
it is
it's
it, it
good.
is a great album all the way through. It's an actual project. Can't let Drake win for doing the same album 3 years in a
3
row.
years in a row.
Travis
Exactly.
Scott, it's the same album. So I mean, I feel like they got it right.
Yeah.
Any album where you got Andre 3000, Two Chains, and an incarcerated young thug to guest appear, they got it right. So now beating up a security guard beforehand, that's insane. They let him
Yeah.
get his 3 Grammys and then carted him off. That's crazy.
Here's my
So
question is like, first of all, he got arrested. And okay, if that's what happened, it sounded like there was a misunderstanding of they didn't know who he was and he's pushing people, blah, 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 whatever. But I like what Stephen A had to say about it, CC. How the hell did Will Smith not only not get arrested, he smacked Chris Rock across the face in front of 100 million people, went and sat down, got his Oscar, gave a speech, went to a party afterwards, and he still hasn't been arrested. How does that happen, Chris?
one of the biggest gangs in the world is the LAPD, right? And so Killer
Mm.
Mike's only mistake was assaulting one of them. Had he
Yeah.
slapped somebody else, maybe somebody else of color, not on the LAPD, they don't care. So that's the difference. You can slap somebody and have 8 different angles in 4K, but you slap a cop, and I guess the cop hurt her hand. Killer Mike gonna be locked up. Won't even
Yeah.
get back to Atlanta.
Won't get back there, man.
No.
It's crazy. It's crazy what happened, but I mean, it's the Grammys. Something's bound to happen with the Grammys.
No, we
Um,
got some people talking about Tracy Chapman
I was
and
just
Luke.
gonna say, my man
Yeah,
Wakan, he joins us all the time
yeah,
on Big B's show in the morning. By the way, Big B Daily Show at
yeah.
9 a.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday. Just throw that out there. But
Okay.
yeah, Tracy Chapman and Luke Combs. I actually saw it. It was really good.
It
I'll
was.
admit that was one of the better one of the better performances of the evening. I loved it because I'm a old school
Yep.
Tracy Chapman fan.
Yeah. One of my favorite songs of all time, and they did the right thing. And let's just redo it without changing too much.
Correct.
It's hard to cover or remix a song that's as iconic as that one, and they didn't touch it too much, and then performing it together. Tracy Chapman looked like she was 25 years old,
She did.
and she's mid 50s. So hats off to her. Awesome,
Yes.
awesome.
So let's break down Jay-Z, CC. I don't understand. First of all, he's 1,000% correct in what he said.
Yeah,
How do you have
absolutely.
the most Grammys of all time, but not have Album of the Year?
Yeah.
And for
So
him to get the award and to call him out in the manner that he did, when he did, I thought, I mean, I don't know. It was a little tacky, but wasn't it the perfect timing?
I thought it was. I mean, I'm going to go from a dad first of all. he shouldn't have drug his daughter up there because that's a little awkward, and he embarrassed his wife. That's but you're never going to get a better platform. So now let's get into calling the Grammys out. My son just told me to tuck my chain in, but this is $4, man. I got to get my money's worth. No better platform, no better timing, right? So when else are you supposed to call him out? And she's got 32 Grammys, never won Album of the Year. There's got to be something behind that. And like he said, by their own standards, it doesn't work. So they
No,
just want him to get it right. And there are a lot of people that don't belong. The category part was his joke or punchline. I thought that
correct.
was the most accurate part. Like
Yes,
there's best vocal pop artist and half of them can't sing, and I'm like, wait, shouldn't that go in the other pop category? So you're in the wrong category. So
you're in the wrong category. That's the whole thing. It's like and I loved how he played it off like he was joking and made everybody laugh. Hey, when I get nervous, I tell the truth.
yeah,
Daggone right, Jay-Z. I
yeah,
love it. The man knew exactly what he was doing, and he was right. That's the
yeah.
whole thing. He was right. Is that 32 Grammys, no album of the year. Now, it did come up. Somebody pointed out to me and said, well, what if she just had a bunch of great songs? And I go, well, that can be true, I guess. I go, but she's been up for album of the year and hadn't
Yeah.
won it. I go, so I mean, it'd be one thing if she'd never been nominated for it, but she has been. So
Well, I thought Lemonade, that whole video project, won. So I had to look it up when he said that. I was like, she didn't win for Lemonade. It was up for everything: album of the year, video project of the year,
yes.
single of the year, and it didn't. So I don't hate it, and I think that they needed to do something to stay relevant, given that we had the great slap at the Oscars. I think the Grammys needed that much controversy, and it was awesome. It
Yeah.
was awesome.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked what it was. And it wasn't too much over the top. Sometimes the Grammys can be just over the top and
Yeah.
it's unwatchable. But
Yep.
this wasn't that this year. So good for the
No.
Grammys, man. Good
Yes,
for
sir.
the Grammys. So let's move on. Let's move to a new topic here. The Super Bowl predictions. Look, the the 49ers are the favorite. Let's just come out. The 49ers are the favorite to win this game. If you go roster for roster, they should win this game. However, they don't have Patrick Mahomes. They don't. So we're going to start with UCC. Give us what your prediction is in this football game coming up on Sunday.
I tell you what, I don't think the Chiefs' last game is indicative of how poorly they've been playing. And I think they're going to return to form, and I think the Niners are going to beat the brakes off of them. And I
Oh,
hate to say that. I moved from Kansas City 2014. I got a lot of friends that are Chiefs fans, but I don't think so. I don't think they have it. Too many dogs on the Niners side, and unless the last game is more indicative of the Chiefs' potential, not the six before it, I got Niners by 10.
ooh,
Yeah.
ooh. But let's break this down first off. I don't understand why you keep saying that the Chiefs are playing bad. They've played the last 3 games against playoff caliber teams, 2 of which on the road, 2 of which they didn't think the Chiefs could beat, and they played well and won the game. I don't know where you're getting that the Chiefs have played bad. Where is this coming from?
Yeah. So first of all, uh, our last show had "Did Lamar choke" on it, right?
Okay.
So they beat the Ravens, but we're talking about Lamar choking. They beat the Bills, and we're talking about Josh Allen playing poorly. Notice how we've never talked about the Chiefs playing well. That's just hasn't been that hasn't been an issue. They haven't played well, and I get it. Niners got out coached last time. It's not happening. All the dogs are there, and they're just too physical, too talented.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't talk. We talked about them choking, but 2 things can also be true. Lamar choking, but the Chiefs defense played outstanding. The Chiefs defense did enough to stop Josh Allen when they had to. Y'all go so, and the offense played well. The offense put up 27 points against Buffalo. So I wouldn't say that's not playing well. I was just saying, pointing out the obvious is something different. I look at this game differently. I think teams have been able to run the ball in the playoffs against the 49ers. The Packers ran it down their throat and they just stopped running. The Lions ran it down their throat and they just stopped running. I don't think the Chiefs stop, other than they still have Mahomes, but I don't think the Chiefs stop. I think the Chiefs are still going to be able to run the football on the 49ers, even with Joe Tooney out. I got the Chiefs 27-24. Late pick. Brock Purdy, trying to be the hero, throws a late pick. And then I get to say all those bad things about Brock Purdy again that he shut my mouth up about. I get for it to say all over it again, and my life will be better. My life will
Well,
be better.
we've got a couple comments that we have to address. First of all, your boy Wakan said the receivers are like Jekyll and Hyde. He's absolutely right. Which Kansas City receiving crew are we going to get? And they will not be able to run the ball constantly. So we're going to definitely have to. They're going to have to put the ball in the air. Patrick Mahomes is the most talented quarterback in the NFL, but he's got half of a team that's going to let him down. Now we also got Brandon Trimble. Shout out to Brandon in the comments talking about I don't know anything about McLaren. This is really in a nod to the Formula One shenanigans that have been going on. We'll get into F1 as that season approaches, but if you're a McLaren fan, if you know, you know, because now the rest of the world's feeling our pain. But back to the wide receivers for the Chiefs. Are they going to show up? Can you go into a Super Bowl not knowing who's going to show up, who's going to be reliable? There's going to be a lot of third and mediums they got to convert. Travis is a shell of himself. He had a flash last game. I get it. In a driving rainstorm, he was automatic inside of 8 yards. I get it, folks. But I just don't see it. I do not see the talent.
You don't see the talent?
I don't. I
I
don't.
mean, I think the Chiefs are going to be able to run the football. That's the one thing. I think the Chiefs are going to be able to run the football. They've run it the last 3 games. They're going to be able to run it on the 49ers. 49ers have put up little to no resistance when teams have decided to run the football. We talked about the 49ers defense being so great, but yet they could not stop the run against either of those teams. Not either of those teams did they.
I
The other team stopped running the football. They didn't stop them. They didn't
you,
shut them down. They just stopped running it.
the
And I have
easiest
no idea
way
why Detroit didn't.
the easiest way to stop the run is to be winning. And so what they may not have to stop the Chiefs run game. They just need to be up 7-0, up 10-0, and then all of a sudden we got, paddy wagon scrambling around back there. And that's your only run game is Mr. Waddle. I don't think that's the issue. I think that
Pacheco's been running the football. They ran it last week. They've been running the football. They'll be fine if they decide and commit to it. They'll be able to run the football. Not to mention, look, we talked about the wide receivers for the Chiefs. Who's going to show up? How's that
yeah,
secondary in San Francisco? Let's talk about that. How good is that
ab-
secondary? Average at best.
how's the pass rush in San Francisco?
It's okay. It's
And
okay. But
and,
don't talk to me
and
about Chase
yeah,
Young.
yeah,
Chase Young will disappear. I mean, he's
yeah,
like Houdini. He's like
yeah.
Houdini. He
He's
will
like the Chiefs
literally
wideouts.
disappear at the drop of a hat.
He's like the Chiefs wideouts. Chase Young is a no-show too often. Now we got Yuba saying Purdy is top 10, and I got to be honest with you, this year he is. He's not who I'm drafting. He's not who I'm picking up on the backyard football game, but he has been top 10. I'm going to give him his flowers. But Yuba, he's not elite. Top 10 this year is merely average quarterback play at best. So I'm just saying I don't. Another comment about Debo going crazy. I don't know. Brian, you're not a Debo fan. You don't think he's the best wideout that San Francisco has.
I don't know.
Uh,
I'm just going to throw this out there. Pacheco.
Pacheco,
Pacheco. So
he he
somebody in the
he
comments
runs.
loves some Pacheco.
Oh yeah, yeah. He runs hard. He runs hard.
He
But
does.
yeah, that's not enough.
No, it's not going to have to be enough because they have Patrick Mahomes on their team. Let's remember that. Let's not discount what the Chiefs actually have at their disposal. We were talking about they got to run the ball. They're talking about this. The best player
Yep.
on the field is going to be playing for the Chiefs. So let's start there.
No, 100%. Best player on the field is playing for the Chiefs, and the next four are playing for San Francisco. Right?
Yeah.
CMC, Debo, and Kittle, and oh my gosh, the edge rusher.
Kittle is not better than Travis Kelce. Let's stop that. So don't go there.
No, okay.
George Kittle is not better than Travis Kelce.
You
So
know
no.
what? Will you take the challenge of who has a better Super Bowl, Kelsey or Kittle?
Yeah, I absolutely will. I
Okay, who you
absolutely
who you
will.
picking?
I will take Kelce all day long. All
Okay,
day long.
all right, guys. I'll
All
be
day
back
long.
next week with the victory chain after I win now, and Kittle outshines Kelsey.
No,
Okay,
not going to happen. Not to mention the Chiefs secondary is, if not the best in the league, it's top 2, top 3 in the league. In the league.
it
So
it
all this
has been.
Ayuk, all this Debo stuff and Ayuk and Kittle just getting free. I don't
Okay.
see any of that happening. I don't see that happening.
You got Josh talking about giving away Super Bowl tickets. We almost could give them away because I heard the prices are plummeting. I don't know if you knew
I
that,
heard the
Brian.
same thing. I
They are
heard the
falling
same
like a
thing.
rock. I might
They
be
are.
fire. I might be firing up the jet that came with this chain.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. We talk about their plummeting. Well, they were 10 grand, and now they're five. I
Yeah,
mean, a
yeah.
piece, a piece. So, I mean,
What?
while yes, the tickets are dropping, they're still at $5,000.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
and now they may go lower. As the week goes on. This is Tuesday, so they may
Right.
go lower as the week goes on. But gee, either way, the bottom line is I see Patrick Mahomes getting MVP number 3, Super Bowl number 3, and
Okay.
moving to number 3 all time as far as the greatest quarterback ever. That's what I see happening, CC.
Okay. You know what? I tell you what. If he wins it, he's number 3 all time. No debate for me because he's going to have to win it by himself with a bunch of bums. So, um, yeah, if he wins it, I'll say he's number 3.
And that's tough for me to say because I'm a big Peyton Manning supporter, but Peyton Manning for years couldn't even get to the Super Bowl. And then he got whipped. He won one, got whipped
Right.
in two, and won another one, but he was carried. I mean,
Yeah.
absolutely carried.
Absolutely.
So, you
Okay,
know,
Buddy says Mahomes is already 3, and I think there's an
yeah,
argument
no.
to be made for it. I don't agree, but
Here's
I
the
think there's an
thing.
argument made.
It's about stuff like that. I mean, it's all recency, and then you get young people in the comments saying stuff like that. The problem is nobody thinks about it this way, Chris. If Mahomes' career stopped today and he could
Right.
never play another down, are we saying he's better than Peyton Manning? No. The answer is
No.
no. So that's the whole piece that nobody they always want to just be prisoners of the moment. Let people accomplish some stuff first. Let them accomplish some things first before we just say they're better. But
Where I
again,
don't blame the kids though because the prisoners of the moment, they've only lived that moment, right? They didn't get
well,
to see
do a little research before you open your trap.
they didn't get to see Dan Marino when they were, 8 or 9 years old and being told to go to bed. I was watching Dan light it up.
Oh, we got this in the comments. If the Chiefs win, you're going to wear Chiefs gear next Tuesday, Big B. Why? Why do I get have to suffer and wear Chiefs gear? Why does that have to be me? Why can't you wear Chiefs gear? I don't want to wear Chiefs gear if they win.
Yeah, but because you're not putting anything on the line. We got a good one from Sharp here. Who's the hero that nobody saw coming? I think everybody knows CMC, Debo, Kittle, Kelsey. Who's the guy you got that we didn't think about? That we could double down in Vegas on putting up some Super Bowl numbers. You got one, B?
I mean, for the Chiefs, I'm not sure. Um, it could be the one thing that I could see is Chris Jones getting loose and getting a couple sacks, maybe a strip sack, something like that. But Rasheed Rice, I don't think. I mean, we've heard of him. Kelsey, it's going to be for the Chiefs to win. I don't think anybody that we haven't thought of is going to make a play. I don't think it's going to be that. For one reason, for what you said, the inconsistency. We know it's not going to be Kadarius Toney.
Right.
So he's not going to be there. So anybody out there, again, we don't give betting advice, but please don't put any money on that guy because he's going to be a healthy scratch. So I don't know exactly who it's going to be, man. It's going to be interesting to
You-
see. I would say a defensive player for the
okay.
Chiefs. That's where I'm going. I'd say a defensive player, either a Chris Jones or a Sneed. Again, Sneed might get that late pick, takes it back for a
No,
touchdown, or gets a late
no.
pick
I'm
on
tired of
Purdy.
hearing about his coverage this year. I'm tired of hearing about how he's locked down. He
Well, he
is not
has.
elite.
I
He
mean,
is
what do you
not
mean
elite.
he's not elite?
He's
What
about
do
to
you
get
what do you
absolutely
have to do to be
destroyed.
what do you have to do to be considered elite? Just let's just start there.
I mean, I don't know. You've got to lock down
He did that.
an elite wideout
Yes, he did that all
with the
year.
with the right amount of targets. I mean, I could lock down Diggs if Josh Allen
Well,
isn't going to throw him the ball.
wait. That's not true because Deion Sanders used to lock down people, and he would maybe get one target a game. So it is not about targets because if you ain't open, they don't throw you the
Right.
ball.
That is not being um that is shutting down the field and not allowing your man to get open. There were times
Okay,
when Diggs was open and he just wasn't targeted. Bad. Bad quarterback play doesn't equal
Oh, here we
lockdown.
go. Here we
I'm
go.
sorry. And
Now it's bad quarterback play.
and back to Sharp's unsung hero. You ready for this? I'm going Alaire. Because I believe that Pacheco is now a constant. And I believe when Clyde Alaire comes in the game, he's gonna bust a couple big ones. I'm going 5 carries for 50 yards from Clyde Edwards Hilaire, whatever his name is.
So
My
now
gosh,
you
I'm
think the
terrible.
Chiefs are going to win?
No, no, I
Ah,
think that's gonna be the guy we didn't see coming. That we forgot all about mid-season. You know,
aha.
so
Well, it helped because he was on the Eddie Lacy plan of running backs, his meal plan. I mean, have you
my
seen it?
God,
I mean, the guy has gained like 30 pounds during the
yeah,
season. Like, what the
yeah,
hell's going on with this guy?
yeah,
So,
no,
but we'll
yeah,
see.
okay,
Ayuk, yeah, keep saying Ayuk's going to fly around the field. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's going to be covered. The Chiefs aren't going to let that happen. I think the best chance for the 49ers to win is CMC. If they can run
no,
the football,
absolutely.
they got an opportunity to win this football game now. And the Chiefs give up the run. That's the thing. The Chiefs are good against the pass, but they're not great against the run. So I think CMC does his thing. That
You
is
see
their
what
chance to win. He's got to go for 175 total yards and
you,
3 touches for them
Oh
to have
no,
a
but he
chance
don't
to
have to
win.
go. But if he goes for 175, they win by 21. Get out of here. He needs 100 all-purpose and 2 tugs at the most. And
100 all
Jackson,
purpose. That's going to do it?
that's going to do it because
No,
it's going to keep him honest enough. He
no,
gets 50 rushing, 50 receiving,
not a
little
chance.
little play action. He's going to get and Ayuk's got speed, and I think Snead's a joke. I hate to say it, Jackson. You do get credit for calling out Clyde. Jackson was calling out Clyde Edwards-Helaire last week, and we got on to him. I do believe he's going to be something we didn't think about. Once Pacheco, stomps his feet into the peanut brittle, we're going to have to bring somebody else in.
Oh, gee, many Christmas. It's just okay, okay.
Yeah.
I just don't see where we're calling Snead a bad corner when he literally gave up no touchdowns on the season, locked down several good wide receivers. Justin Jefferson would be one of those. I don't see that. But if
I
that's
was,
what you're thinking, okay,
no, I got you. What
okay.
week was Justin Jefferson? What week does he
Four,
play him?
four,
Oh, was that
and
before
Kirk
Kirk Cousins
Cousins
got
was
hurt?
was playing.
Oh, okay. Well, there goes my argument there. You're right. You're right.
So, I mean, but again, I think it's going to be a good game overall. At least I'm hoping that it's going to be a good game overall. We already touched on Usher at halftime. I'm sticking around for that. I know, I mean, hopefully a
Yeah.
lot of people stick around for it.
Yeah.
I did hear something funny today. They said the only thing people are going to catch from Usher's halftime show was Usher's herpes. I'm like, wow.
Wow.
I go,
That's
people
it.
are going berserk on this thing, man.
Surely
Let
he's gotten
Usher
that.
live, man.
Yeah, surely he's gotten that fixed by now. Money can fix anything.
We'll see. We'll see. According to Eddie Murphy, herpes is like luggage. You just keep it forever. You just keep
Oh,
it forever.
okay.
But maybe
Okay.
even if he has a little breakout, maybe they got a little touch up makeup, a little touch up, to
Yeah.
cover all that up, a little touch up. So let's move on, man. Let's move on. Something
Sure.
serious topic. Taylor Swift, she ruining the NFL experience for people, CC. I say absolutely not. People are out of their mind.
Absolutely not. I mean, they like you told me earlier this week. They'll pan to Jerry Jones. They'll pan to anyone else in the stands. Hell, if you're an NBA fan, they'll always pan to the celebrities in the audience. What are you missing between the plays? Why is your masculinity so threatened by a female pop star that they flash to in between plays? You know, I don't
I
get
don't
it.
know. I don't know. Here's
So
the thing for me is that they totaled up the Chiefs 3 playoff games this year, and with it not counting commercials, they were on the total time was 9 hours and 33 minutes in their 3 playoff games. She was
okay,
on screen for 2 minutes and 15 seconds out of 9 hours, over nine
yeah,
hours, and people are bent out of and not to mention you missed zero action,
none,
no action. You
none.
missed nothing,
It was
and
one
I'm
more
like,
time they could have panned up to the lights and shown the rain. They could have
yeah.
shown the other cameraman. Like, come on, come on.
And that's the thing is like people are getting bent out of shape. And I'm like, well, when did somebody tune in to say, man, I can't wait to see the in between this football game to watch all the stuff that happens in between the plays? I mean, when people they're walking out of the huddle or they're walking
Yeah,
back to the huddle, man, I really tuned in to see that. because
You
that's
got
basically what we're missing,
you
or a
got
replay
yeah.
of the 3-yard run.
Yeah, exactly. Cloud of dust, man. Let's make sure we watch that again. Make sure they spotted it right. So Trimble said we're not watching it local. They pan to her all the time. Well, that's great, man. And if I'm local and if I'm a real Chiefs fan, the more they pan to her, the more Kelsey jerseys they sell, the better my team is. So I get it. It may be annoying, but it's made your team relevant on a superstar stage
Yeah.
versus on a local stage. So you should be thanking her more than I am. I mean,
Well,
they cut to her at the Grammys, and she's the most popular person in there. So why wouldn't she be at the GEH field, whatever it
Well, it's
is?
not
So
just that. I mean, the Chiefs games are on nationally, so they're not covered by local television stations. I'm sorry. So I have no idea what you're talking about, Brandon. We love you, but that ain't true. That ain't true. They're
y-
not getting any more. She's not getting any more coverage than what everybody else across the country is seeing. You may be watching local network shows like the news, and she may be on there, but the actual Chiefs football game, yeah, they don't show
yeah,
anything locally that they're not showing nationally, my man. Stop that. Gotta cut that
yeah,
stuff out.
yeah. Did you?
That stuff don't fly on instant replay, man. Can't come in the comments
Can't come here
saying
with
stuff
that
like that.
BS. I don't know if
Yeah.
you saw Kaiser that said he's never gonna vote against them showing a shorty on his TV. I mean, here they go. The Goon Squad is back. You
Yeah,
know.
the Goon Squad never goes anywhere. We love those guys, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yo,
All I
yeah,
know is that she is the NFL is getting exactly what they want. First of
yeah,
all, they're getting people like us talking about it. That's number one. Number two is they're bringing a whole different demographic to watching a football game. And number three, people are bent out of shape, and you're not missing any action. I mean,
yep,
you're literally. I could see being pissed off at. Oh man, we missed this play because they were shining to her.
right,
That isn't happening. That's literally not happening. And I guess a question that I would like to ask in the stands is, what would you rather watch besides her? What is it that you're wanting to see in between these plays? Because a lot of times they're already showing the replay, and then
right.
they'll pan to her, or they'll pan to her first and then the replay. So
Well,
in that time, what are you wanting to watch?
no, and D. Howard says, forget the short pans on the 3 yard run. That's usually after a Kelsey big play. So what are we complaining about? And I mean, to April's point, we see Spike Lee, we see everybody else. When Spike Lee and Carmelo were going crazy, why wouldn't we? After Kelsey's touchdown pass, why won't we want to see the human side of that? Like somebody just said they missed a
There,
TD celebration.
yeah, a TD celebration. Give me a break.
Unbelievable. Well, I mean, trust me, Travis Kelsey doesn't have the newest dances. I think that's going to belong to, well, the kid in Minneapolis, so Jefferson. So, but no, I don't know what we're missing. It's definitely brought a human side to it, a fun side of it. I mean, let it go. If
Let
somebody
it
is that
go.
threatened, there's another problem there.
Let it
Oh,
go. Not to mention the biggest superstar in the world, which she happens to be right now. If
right.
they show her, they show her. And I love this point. If you can show Jack Nicholson, Spike Lee, all these people, why
Yep.
can't you show her?
Absolutely.
So makes no difference. And here's the thing: if it was the other way around, now here's a comment that was brought to my attention. What if it was the other way around? Now, not that a lot of people are watching women's sports, but if they were, and it was the other way around, would we still be mad?
Absolutely, we would be mad.
That's
We'd be
I said the
madder.
same thing.
We'd be madder.
Yeah.
This is a very female empowerment era we live in, and so we don't want to see the guy behind the scenes. No, absolutely not. We don't want
Yeah.
to see Venus and Serena's dad. We don't want to see anybody's boyfriend. Absolutely not.
Yeah, people
Absolutely
would
not.
they would you're 100% right. People would be losing their ever living mind
Yep.
if that was the case. Just
Absolutely.
talking
Whoever,
about canceling women, what are you
yeah,
doing? And I'm like,
who-
"Oh
who-
my god."
whoever Josie is, and she's got her finger on it. There, people hating women watching more football makes no sense. You're absolutely right. You're alienating, half the audience. That makes no sense. We want everybody to watch it so it can be the product that it is. You know.
Oh,
So
Josie, I know Josie. I know she's
I don't know,
a
Josie.
young follower, and
Okay.
I know her mother.
Okay.
And she was the inspiration for the instant replay logo. She was the inspiration. She's got her head on. She went to Jeffersonville High School. She goes
Okay.
to Jeffersonville High School, so she got her head on her shoulders. She's got her head
Okay.
on her shoulders. So, you
All
know,
right. I mean, again, it looks like we're reaching globally. today.
We're
Globally.
trying. We're trying. You
Mhm.
know, instant replay, Chris. We're
Yeah.
trying. We're
Asher
branching out.
is in Japan, virtually at least. He's got s yeah.
He's trying to get to Japan bad, isn't he? He is
Yeah,
trying to
and
get there. I love it.
I've never seen a guy more on a survey to find more tech. Yeah, it's a tech capital of the world. I'm not sure that's why you're going there. Uh, but it is what it is. Uh, you know, uh, couple people were like, "Where are the shirts?" Well, I hope Big B owns this, but the Goon Squad shirts were delayed by Big B doubling up the order. So we had the first order process, and then Big B said, "I need some for the Jeffersonville kids, and I need some more." And then he didn't send me his sizes, so I'm a little behind on the Goon Squad shirts getting mailed out because we added 6, 7 more shirts. So
Hmm.
that's definitely. I hope he owns it. There's Ashford. Said,
Yeah.
"Damn right." I'm surprised he has Wi-Fi on the plane.
Oh,
He's on his way.
yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So
Sorry.
NBA. Let's change topics here before we shut down for the
Hmm.
evening. NBA explosion. Pause. The
Yeah.
scoring explosion, pause, is
Right.
just going absolutely ridiculous. I don't know. Well, I do know what's going on is that there is no defense being played. It is absolutely ridiculous. We're seeing guys 73, 70, 62, 63. I mean, it is absolutely going berserk. It's not just that, Chris. It's not just the high scores there. It's the number of people that are averaging over 30 points a game.
Right.
That is where you just know there is no defense being played whatsoever.
Right.
None.
And Kaiser says it right. It looks like an all-star game every game. But I'm gonna tell you what's happening. You notice these scoring explosions came around the all-star selections. And they wanted to make sure that every all-star had that 60, 70, buzzer beater, that highlight to justify them getting in. It really is, I think, it's a byproduct of the all-star selection process. You
Yeah.
know, that's my biggest problem. Now, the scoring explosion, full stop. It if you saw the Luca layup where nobody guarded him full, 90
Oh my
feet down the
God.
court,
It was ridiculous.
right? You know, and I get it, but it's a byproduct of these guys standing out around the 3-point line, and they won't stop ball or protect the bucket. So
Nope.
there's a couple of problems. The way it's being refed, I do appreciate the anti-flopping rules and all that stuff this year. The way it's being refed, but also the lack of defense is now fundamental. It's now
Yeah,
these kids will run out and challenge a 3-pointer versus stop somebody going right to the bucket.
exactly.
So it's absolutely crazy.
Well,
Embiid 70 though was pretty legit. If you watched it, he's hitting contested jumpers. He's hitting some tough shots. He didn't make a killing at the foul line. So of all of those, I liked his
but he
better than
always
everybody
makes a
else.
killing at the foul line.
Right.
So it wasn't anything extraordinary from the foul line. He didn't go there like more than what he normally goes. He didn't do that. He
Yeah.
was just making shots. It just
Yeah.
the Luca thing. I mean, you just kept seeing just time after time he's shooting uncontested layups. But part of that goes back to what I've been just screaming about, Chris, is they don't use a big man like they should anymore. They just
No.
don't do that. It's like
Well,
if you had a big man in the paint that just stood in there, but they don't do that because the other guy, the opposite big man is out shooting threes or
yeah.
creating space, and we just don't use big men the way that we used to, man. It's just
Right,
part of it.
and Buddy's right, man. The superstars are super ball dominant. So what we watched Luca. How many shots could he get up in 48 minutes? Because he had the ball the whole time. And I've
Yeah,
been complaining about his pace, of play because he doesn't make anybody better. So for those of you guys that are, empty stat guys, I'm bringing that back up. Yeah, Luca's awesome until he needs to win in the playoffs. He doesn't make the team around him better. He's going to lose 100 to 70 every game because he has the ball all game. And that's exactly what we watched. We watched him literally walking up the court and take as many shots as he could take. It might as well have been his practice. So,
yeah.
you know,
Well, the thing that I love about the Mavs is that they came out this week, before the trade deadline and said they were looking for a stretch four, somebody
right.
that was tall, that could shoot the three. I'm like, excuse me, you guys traded that guy away. You had him in
Right.
Porzingis, and
Yeah.
because Porzingis was like, I never get the basketball. I
Right.
don't want to be here anymore because your
Uh,
superstar never passes me the ball. He never
couldn't,
lets me do my thing. All I
yeah.
have to do is stand over here and shoot threes when he throws it to me. I'm
Well,
like, yeah, that's not going to work.
and let's not forget, especially with Luca and Trey Young and some of these other guys, you need me to stand in the corner and knock it down when you kick it to me late in the clock. But you also need me to cover for your ass
On
on
defense.
defense because they
Yeah.
do not guard anybody. So
Nobody.
Matt Hasselbring says this is a product the NBA wants to gain more viewers. Matt, the NBA cracked that code a long time ago that it is a global game. The NBA has as many fans and viewers as you could possibly imagine. After Christmas, the NBA it has the viewership that it wants. It is a massively widely appealing product. Now, I don't know if this is the next step is getting it back to the, run and gun pistol Pete 130 to 120 games. But this is definitely the product they want, right?
I think so. Absolutely. I mean, they've wanted it. They've wanted it forever, and now they got it. They
Right.
manipulated the rules, to make it to where guys can't play defense. But
Right.
basically, what the NBA is coming to glorified AAU these days with just more
Yep.
guys with more skill.
And
That's all that it is.
you saw the guy, one of Pop's offspring, say that AAU has ruined basketball.
Yeah, he's right.
Yeah, yeah. So
It's not the same AAU that I played, Chris, growing up.
no.
It's not the same.
So Kaiser talked about individual performances work one game at the most. Kaiser, you're too young to remember, but Allen Iverson in the finals put on one of
Yeah.
the better performances ever. But you knew it was no chance for him to win the series. He'd have to
No.
do that every night, and that's impossible.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely right. They're great for viewership and for jersey sales, but you're not going to win like that. And right now, Denver by a mile. But this scoring explosion is flat out absurd. They got to justify their MVP if Joel can make enough the minimum amount of games.
Nope, not gonna happen. I love the new rule, by the way. We can talk about that. I love it. 65 games. Look, I feel sorry for guys being hurt. I really do, but the players brought this upon themselves. If you wouldn't have taken this load management thing to the next level and just sat out back-to-back games, oh, I don't want to play, or sat out, hell, Kawhi sat out a whole season for a
Right.
hamstring pull. I'm
Yep.
like, what? Or not even a hand, it was a quadricep pull. He sat
Yep.
out the whole season because he didn't want to be in San Antonio anymore. I'm like, if guys would stop doing that, then this rule would have never been in place. You brought it on yourselves. I do not feel sorry for the NBA players at all, or NBA players. I do
No.
not feel sorry for them.
But it looks like our crowd is more football fans. We don't have the same amount of interaction around the NBA, and it's maybe because we don't have the Super Bowl's not done with, right? They need to make that shift in their mind, like everybody does. Buddy's got the Celtics winning it, and I'm gonna tell you, as long as they got Brown and Tatum, they're not gonna win it.
And
Something
Jalen
about
Brown still
something
can't dribble
about
with his
those
left
two
hand.
something about those two guys can't work in the playoffs. Uh, Something's wrong with them. I don't know. They don't get along. They maybe had the same girlfriend at AAU, but it doesn't work. That's
Well,
all I'm
one
gonna
of
say.
them, Chris, can't dribble with his left hand. It makes it
Well,
tough when you get in
yeah,
the playoffs, and guys
yeah,
know that. If you can't go left, I mean, Jalen Brown, who just signed, by the way, the biggest contract in NBA history, the guy 300 million guaranteed dollar. What are we talking about here?
yep.
For a guy that literally, when he dribbles left,
It
he
goes off
literally
his foot.
either falls down, goes off his foot, he just falls all over himself. I've never seen that before from a supposed superstar player, which first of all, he is not a superstar. So
No,
why he's making that kind of money is insane. But yeah, the Celtics aren't winning this thing. That's
no.
that's not going to happen.
You got
Not
a
going to
couple
happen.
comments. You got a couple comments about when they start paying attention to the NBA, and that's the NBA's biggest problem, right? Is people don't watch to the playoffs, so they tried the in-season tournament to make it competitive and make you watch it during the season. But until football's over with, it's just not time. So Ashford and Buddy, you guys are absolutely right. And then they stretch the playoffs out. My God, they start playing it. Playoffs before Easter, and then July 4th is when they have the NBA championship.
Yeah, it's too
It's
much. And it didn't
insane,
used to be that way. I mean, clearly it's all about money, but it didn't
right?
used to be that way because the first round would be 3 games, second round was 5 games, and then you started going to the 7 game. Now they made the first round 7 games. I'm like, Jiminy Christmas, how long are we going to drag this thing out?
Yeah,
And then the
yeah,
refs get involved, and it's
right.
just an
Yeah,
absolute
they need
mess.
that 7 game check.
Yeah,
We got
buddy.
April saying Taylor and Travis need to go to some NBA games. And first of all, guys, you guys are going to see a changeover when the Niners win this thing. It's going to be about CMC and who's his girlfriend, Dua
With
Lipa
his
or
wife, whoever she is, I don't know.
Olivia Rodrigo. Somebody needs to look that up for me. They're going to change that. The star power's got to change.
It's not going to happen. There's no way. Well, I shouldn't say there's no way, but the Chiefs are going to win the football game. The
Yeah,
Chiefs
buddies.
are going to win the football game.
but he says the problem is they get 3 games off, 3 days off between games. You know, and I understand how this is going to sound. So biggest pause already, but it's that load management is the NBA's problem. You
Jiminy
know,
Christmas. Pause, pause, pause.
yeah,
My
yeah.
God. What's wrong with you? First of all, if
I
you wouldn't be glazing on all these NBA players, it wouldn't
no,
be a problem anyway with
no,
your
no,
load management
no,
talk.
yeah. I mean, load management is something we all struggle with. So why do the NBA guys get 3 days to recover, right?
Jiminy
So,
Christmas.
uh,
Unbelievable. Well,
yeah.
man, we're gonna shut this one down for the day, man. I appreciate everybody that's in here. Again, instant replay. We are just getting started, man. We thank everybody for joining. Pass the word, tell everybody about us, continue to comment. Go to YouTube,
Yeah.
comment on the live, not just in the chat here, which we appreciate all the chat, but go and make comments, like it, share it, tell everybody to do the same. We can put down that McLaurin. They don't need any more sponsorship from us.
For,
So,
hey,
uh,
Formula One news coming up, guys, after the Super Bowl. Trust me.
golly, just when I thought I'd seen everything, I've seen too much. I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you all. We will be back again, instant replay every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Central Time, live here on YouTube. Thank you guys. We will see you later. Peace out.